And just like that, and just like that, we are live. And just like that, we're live. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? How you all doing today? So you all might be wondering, what the hell is this? This isn't the usual stream that he always does. Well, today I thought I'd be doing something a bit different, like to change up some things. And in this, I'll be doing. This is my first discussion video where it's how it sounds like. Especially homework today, but I got sound okay. So on and so forth. So what the stream is really going to be about is just talking about stuff. We'll take breaks here and there, and we'll talk about different things and so on and so forth, so it doesn't feel repetitive and stuff like that. What's up, JR? And that's all Blue Jay Animation's homework on the weekends. It's odd since they already did a anime slash manga matchup 2 episodes ago. Yeah, that's true. Then again, the constant Marvel vs. DC matchups, like back and forth, and even at the same time against the same and yada yada. So yeah, it's like that. I was on those sort of things. So. Tricky, who do you think is going to win? Like, who I believe is going to win. You see, the creator of One Punch Man, who also created Mob Psycho 100, when he was asked who would win in a fight between Tatsumaki and Mob, the creator said that in base form of Mob, in his base form, Tatsumaki would beat Mob in his base form. But when they brung up Mob's 100% or his unknown state, he didn't have an answer. So when it reaches to that part, the creator didn't know who would win when Mob goes into his either 100 state or his unknown state. And damn it, video output. Have you seen Mob Season 2 of Mob Psycho 100? No, I have not actually. I've seen like clips of it on YouTube, but never like a full episode on it. My money's on Tatsumaki, but only because I know her character more, but it's extremely close. There's actually a dude, um, called Z1 Puncher, a good friend of mine's. He made a community post explaining the abilities and stuff, like going an in-depth analysis on mobs potential and stuff like that. So we'll check that out in a second. And why is the video output low? Yeah, bloody hell. I usually don't take the creator's word as truth. Like I'm not saying you should take it as fact. I'm just saying like that the creator said that in base form Mob would lose, but in Mob's 100% state or his unknown state, the creator had no answer because of it. Because he probably even he probably knows that he if the creator can't even what I'm saying if the creator can't decide on when that part of the fight reaches, then and since he made them, it's interesting. Will you be doing the top 15 episodes of season 6 before the season finale comes out? Yes, I'll see if I can do that one. I need to read them. How would you rank episode 9 through 13 of season 6? Episode 9 is Dracula versus Ganondorf, right? No, it's not. It's 13. Let's see. As for episode 9 through actually, actually, let me look it up now. No, I completely forgot. Aang versus Edward was number 9. Oh, okay. Now I see. Now I get you. It was alright, but the matchup, I still say, was not needed. I still stand by that I don't think Aang versus Edward was needed at all. Replace Aang with Joseph Joestar and you got the better matchup for Edward. So yeah. So yeah. It's interesting. So yeah, like so yeah. Now as for this matchup in particular, um, this matchup in particular, so I take one to look up actually. Number 10 was Ghost Rider versus Lobo. Yes. It was good, but I kind of felt like the fight was a bit too short, and Lobo barely got to do any real fighting. it was mostly just Ghost Rider doing most of the work. And I still say Spawn should have faced Ghost Rider. You're never gonna convince me that Lobo was the better pick for Ghost Rider. You're never gonna convince me whatsoever. The Dragon Zord versus Mechagodzilla. See, like with Ghost Rider versus Lobo, they don't really have a strong connection besides them being from hell that just rides motorcycles and has chains for weapons. That's really just it. With Spawn and Ghost Rider, really have the same backstory, almost the same powers, kinda, and so on and so forth. And it would have been the most closest fight that Death Battle has ever done, since they can't really die in by any normal means. They have to kill each other by holy weapons, which none of them possesses. With the Dragon Zord versus Mechagodzilla, I liked it. I liked the fight. I loved the song, and so on and so forth. But like in my aftermath video, like I said in my aftermath video, um, of the Dragon Zord versus Mechagodzilla, it felt like the Green Ranger and the Dragon Zord was not fully justified. They didn't really go into specifics of the Dragon Zord because they really focused on the show's version of the Dragon Zord and barely the comics. Where I know in the comics the Dragon Zord does more than what he's shown in the fucking show. So, and then the fact that they didn't scale the Green Ranger to the other Rangers that Tommy has been, or at least scale the Dragon Zord to the other Zords that Tommy had. I don't know. I just don't think the Power Rangers or anything like that. With the Green Ranger and the Dragon Zord, I don't think there was no justice in it. Let's see what else. What else? Least favorite was Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. Yeah. The reason why they did those matches was because the season 6 is all about oddball matches that not many request or don't think about. Again, it's supposed to be the theme of the season's supposed to be odd matchups. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Because please tell me how Namor versus Aquaman was an odd matchup when it's the most requested for years. Please tell me how Weiss versus Mitsuru is an odd matchup if that was the most popular one. Please tell me how the Dragon Zord versus Mechagodzilla was an odd matchup when it was the requested for fucking years. See, the perfect example of odd matchups that actually makes sense was Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. Now, that was a fight no one was ever going to suspect to happen, because I don't think many people thought about it. See you later, Red Elastic. Again, I still think that the theme of season 6 is supposed to be odd matchups does not excuse half of the fucking entries that they picked in this season. Just isn't. What's up, Lion Green? Same here, Voice versus Mitsuru is the better one. Who do you think would win the next battle? Alright. Alright, now let's get to discussing about Mob versus Tatsumaki. Alright. Let's run down the Let's first start off with their power sets, like with their telekinesis. To be honest, I think Tatsumaki has the better power than Mob because she's shown to lift up things more than what Mob has shown. Because when you think about it, Tatsumaki's um Tatsumaki's telekinesis really has no limit. While Mob while his telekinesis doesn't really have much of a limit, he's never shown to to grab a meteor from space, drag it all the way down to Earth, or anything else like that. Archer Emiya versus Urza Scarlet. Replace Archer with Saber and you get the better matchup. So, for who has the better power in this fight, I say Tatsumaki has the better telekinesis than Mob. That's not to say Mob's telekinesis is weak, but he just never shown to do what um, Tatsumaki's done. I mean, when Lord Boros from One Punch Man went to Earth and then shot out missiles from his ship, she literally grabbed every single one and then just turned it back up and then shot it back at the ship. I don't think Mob has ever done that. Like, theoretically, he could do that if he wanted to. He just never showed it. What do you all think? Who do you think has the better power? The better telekinesis? I already mentioned who I think has the better telekinesis. What about you all? In the meantime, I'm gonna look up. Let's get an image that's fitting for this. Yeah, there you go. That's better. That's a fitting metaphor. Let's just pull up an image for just sakes to make it feel unique. Let's just pull up this one. Let's see what they say here. This might end up being a test since one has stated he had no idea who would win. So yeah. Alright, let's see if this is the better way of doing it. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Searching, I see. Can't wait. Can't say a full opinion since I haven't read the manga. I've heard that Tatsu could negate one's psychic abilities, but I've also heard Mob can counter that. I heard Mob can absorb Tatsumaki's psychic power, but I'm not so sure on that. Like from what I've heard, Tatsumaki can like either bend telekinesis or blind someone. I don't know. I don't know. They never explained that very well. But like, if we were to believe she could, like, the way I see it is like how I mentioned in my Aang versus Edward video. When, because I've seen some people say, couldn't Aang just in Avatar state take away the powers of Edward because that's something that the Avatar state could do? And I said no. Theoretically, Aang cannot take away Edward's powers because alchemy is something you learn instead of something you're born with. If we were to imply that a similar thing with could Tatsumaki take away Mob's psychic powers, and Mob could possibly do the same to Tatsumaki, then that's up in the air of if it can happen or not. And so let's what else can we look up? What should we look up, people? What should we look up next? Comparing Mob to Tatsu, AP durability and speed, Tatsu overpowers Mob. Even Mob. I think Archer is better because I don't know. Still say Saber is the better choice for Urza. They gave Urza the most stupidest fucking opponent of all damn time. A fight that no one asked for. Mob could probably use his own varied psychic powers against Tatsumaki. Theoretically, he could. Because I see most of the fight of. Because Tatsumaki could just grab Mob in her psychokinesis. Why am I referencing Silver all of a sudden? She could grab Mob and then just toss him like a rag doll because her telekinesis has no real limit. I guess Mob could do the same, but I never. Actually, yeah, he could. Because I remember in that one fight he was in, I can't remember what the dude's name. He was just tossing the dude around like a fucking rag doll in a small room. If anyone who's seen Mob Psycho 100, you probably get what I mean by that. Who bets the fight will start because Mob reminds Tatsu of how I see the fight will happen will be this. She would see Mob as like a threat, you know? Like think of it as like how Origins fight would be. Like think of like how I see the fight how start is like it'll play out like something similar to Origins version of it, but he, she sees Mob as a threat, and she's like something similar, and then Mob says the same thing he said in Origins video. He said, what does he say? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Like he since Mob is considered like a pacifist, he doesn't want to fight Tatsumaki and he would call her like a child because that's what she kind of is in the height. So he doesn't fight her because in his eyes she's a child and he doesn't want to fight a child. And then she'll say, "But I'm older than you," and then and she'll just be rambling on, and then Mob would just be straight up leaving. Like Mob would just be walking away, and then she'll realize that Mob is walking away, and then she'll realize, damn, this dude ignoring me, and then they just start fighting. Because the one thing Tatsumaki does not like is one, being called a child, and two, being ignored. Like it'll play like something similar to how Aang versus Edward did, where Mo that no. Aang mentioned something about little, and then Edward thinks it's directly towards him, and he gets mad, and then that's when the fight begins because Aang said the word little or something like that. It'll be something like that where um Mob calls Tatsumaki a kid, like a child, and then when she's saying to him she's not a child, she will realize that he's walking away, pretty much ignoring her. And then bam, that's when they start fighting. That's how I see it, at least. Have you seen the 1 minute melee of Mob versus Tatsumaki? Yeah, and it was shit. Not because of not because of like it was really bad because of the animation. The animation was so fucking choppy and stiff as hell. It makes you wonder who the fuck draw this. Did they not look at this a second glance and like, yeah, looks dumb. I don't know. It looks so fucking bizarre. It really makes you wonder who drew this. Origins was a way better one than the 1 minute melee. It really, the main complaint of the 1 minute melee that I have is that the animation looks fucking odd. Like seriously, when it looks so damn jarring when you look at it. It's like watch. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see, Mob versus Tatsumaki one 1 minute melee. Here it is. Like it looks so damn jarring. Top for Satara had that was better. Like, cause that was animated by someone who knows hand drawn animation. Ignore the subtitles being in Spanish. Ignore that because apparently the original video is gone. Kind of like how Jotaro versus Kenshiro's 1 minute melee was gone. So this is the best there is. So like look at this shit. Jesus Christ, this is bad. Like, are you really gonna tell me that looks good? That looks like terrible.
Go for broke. Engage.
See, because every movement feels stiff, and since it looks jarring, like dude, this looks like it sticks out like a very sore thumb. It really looks hideous, especially with the character design. And then no one really got defeated. Apparently he just gave up and then just slammed her to the ground. And the ending was such a fucking letdown. It's unlisted. But it's like the way how it's handled looks awful. Every movement felt so damn stiff, and again the animation looks fucking jarring in the worst way possible. And then the impact, like the ending, had no impact. Like he just froze her to the ground, like just let's go, and that's it. Like that, like really? That's the best you could think of? Cause it really just made it seem like he gave up and just like fuck it. Like I'm not suspecting her to not suspecting him to kill her, but at least like get her knocked out or something like that. Aizen versus the Overlord, but yeah. Versus Remu, that's how I got everything cut. And it's like, what's up, Night Slayer, and yada yada yada. Now, if you want a real fucking fight, one that's better than this, you look over to Origins video. Hey, look, there's me. Let's watch Origins, cause this is better.
This white tea guy is no joke. He seems like a pretty powerful Esper. This is gonna take all day. Hey, you! You need to come with me, so don't make this too hard on yourself.
I'm sorry, little girl, but I can't play with you. I'm already late for my job.
Little? I'm older than you, brat!
Oh, okay.
Because I think Mob is like 14 years old and Tatsumaki's 28 years old. But Mob is taller than her. Mob is like 5 feet and Tatsumaki's 4 feet. So one's older than the other, but one's taller than the other. That's the funny part. One's older and one's taller. Okay, let's continue this.
There's something about this guy that I can't put my finger on.
Soka.
Because they look the same, because the creator.
You really shouldn't use your powers on others, huh?
Now that's better. That's awesome.
お茶もらえる？気持ちの切り替えで強くなることがあるかもしれない。
Sorry, but I already have an after-school club.
今の何？
And then Saitama just leaves. I like how Tatsumaki thought Mob is like Saitama. And they even had an interaction in the end. Because when you think about Mob, some does look like Saitama, but if Saitama was like a kid, you know? So yeah. Alright, what else? What else should we do? I've been seeing people say they want Mob versus Saitama, saying that they want it's a good idea, but it's really a bad one. Yeah, that's kind of true. It's not the worst. Tricky, what's your most requested fight? Anybody who's seen who's not seen, who's been in my channel for a long time already knows, but I'll always say it. I'll always say it. Um, it'll always be this. It'll always be a Velvet Crow from Tales of Berseria versus Akira Kurusu from Persona 5. It'll always be that. It'll always be Akira Kurusu versus Velvet Crow. Damn, that's a pretty cool idea. Like, hey, what's up, Origin? I remember telling you about Akira versus Velvet on Discord. Remember that? That was like a long time ago. Everyone give a round of applause for Origin for making Mob versus Tatsumaki. We just watched it too. So yeah. So yeah, that'll always be. Ooh, nice. Glad to hear it. Ooh, nice. Low. Glad I re-up. I saved it even from the before it was even re-uploaded a long time ago when he actually did upload it. I downloaded and saved it, so I still had it no matter what. So yeah. Origin does have a Discord. I'm friends with him there, so I know he has one. So yeah. Hey, or good. Yeah, Gaming Gab wants to know what's your Discord name. My bad. I think I'm behind the stream. We started like few minutes ago or something like that. We was just talking about who had the better power and of like the telekinesis and stuff and all that. We're still talking having the debate on Mob versus Tatsumaki, but we're just taking a break now. I don't have a most requested fight, but my most requested anime fight is first one says, yeah, I think you told me about that one, that anime before. Origin, will you ever re-upload the Ben 10 versus Green Lantern alternate ending? I don't think he can though. What do you think of Izuku versus Mob? I actually did a trailer on that. A long time ago. I legit made a trailer of Izuku versus Mob a long time ago. When I was still making trailers. I want to, but RT has been cracking down on their copyright, so I'm a bit worried. Luckily, I still have that alternate ending. I still have that alternate ending, so. But yeah, Rooster Teeth has been false striking people for no reason, or blocking videos for no reason. I mean, look at Ganondorf versus Dracula. That's getting people blocked all because they're reacting to it. Same thing happened with Sasuke versus Hiei, all because people want to spoil who won before the fight even comes out in public. It's the same situation that happened with Carnage versus Lucy. People spoiled who won, and therefore everything that involved Carnage versus Lucy was always blocked for no reason. All because people wanted to spoil the who won. And it's like, come on, people, you can wait 2 more fucking days, you know? I remember there was a guy who even mentioned about, let me see if I can find it. If he still has it up. There is a, no, it's here somewhere. There's a guy who was ranting about it. Oh, now they take it down. Please tell me he did not take it down. For the love of God, please tell me he did not take it down. I'll be so mad if he did. I'll be so fucking mad if he did. Right, come on. Did he? No, he did not. Thankfully, he did not. Oh, thank God. What?
So, I'm just...
Oh, wait.
Alright.
Yeah,
So, I'm just here to complain once again about the fucking bullshit that is Rooster Teeth's copyright strikes. I will give them credit. They never actually strike my channel. They only take down the videos. But at the same time, you guys, not all of you, but you guys out there, you know who you are, who actually watch the episodes early on YouTube, go fuck yourselves. Like, genuinely, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I want you to realize that when reactions get taken down, it is almost always directly a result of those leaked videos.
Yep.
And you know that if you stop watching them, then no one will bother posting them anymore. Can you really not wait just fucking 2 more days? Is it really that much of a problem for you? Are you really that impatient? Because if so, that's very, very disappointing, in my opinion. I would very much like to just get my reactions out there and have that be it. Have that just be the end of the story. I don't really care much about anything else besides just getting my opinions out there, getting my, I guess you could say, analysis of their own videos out there. And you guys seem to enjoy it when I do that. But just for an example, if any of you are curious how badly this affects me, just go look back at the last 2 reaction videos. Mechagodzilla vs. Dragonzord was not affected by copyright at all. That one was completely fine. And guess what? That video of mine got, I believe, about 1,700 views. Not great, but it's pretty good. Now, look over at Sasuke vs. Hiei, which had been blocked for about a day. That video, by comparison, only received 396 views. And Mechagodzilla vs. Dragonzord might not even be the best example. That one was a really cool fight that a lot of people were watching reaction videos of. But even going back further, Ghost Rider vs. Lobo got 1,000 views. Again, never affected by copyright whatsoever. Ultimately, the point is, this is affecting me heavily, and I would really appreciate it if you fucking morons would just stop leaking the episodes. Overall, it's not helping anything. And I also would like anyone who cares to spread this message around, perhaps? Because Leaking the episodes early is not good for anyone. Just be patient. Just wait the extra 2 days. It's not that much of a problem. If you're so attached to the series, if you are so set on watching the episode early, then buy Rooster Teeth first. I don't have it, but that's because it doesn't matter to me that I see it early. And if you don't want Rooster Teeth first, then just don't fucking watch it early. Don't even bother. Don't even bother trying. It's not worth it. Anyway, I'll see you when the reaction finally goes.
So yeah, like, it really isn't because people spoiled the who's next. Like, it really isn't because people who spoiled it who's the next fighter, well, technically. It's really because they spoil who won the match. Again, a prime example of this was Carnage versus Lucy. When that episode came out for first members, every single person was just spoiling that Lucy beat Carnage like that with a snap of a finger. And it got so bad that Rooster Teeth had to block every single thing that had to do with Carnage versus Lucy. Even if it falls under fair use, which most of the time it does, they still block it. All because some fucking Nimrods thought it would be such a cool idea to spoil who won in fucking public before the fight even comes out for public. Like, I get it in the wiki where they have spoiler tags, because in the wiki, when the fight comes out for first members, they say who wins and who's next. But they don't have it like publicly. There's spoiler tags that they put in, so in case you don't want to know who won and who's next, you don't have it says spoiler tags, so you know that it says who won and who's next. With YouTube, it doesn't have that. You get what I'm saying? It's because people spoil who won is the issue. I had my fucking Carnage versus Lucy when the fight came out AMV blocked because of it. And I want to do the AMV of Sasuke versus Hiei and Dracula versus Ganondorf because I have songs for that, but now I fucking can't because of idiots like these. You know? It's fucking ridiculous. It, like, really involves around people just spoiling who won. And then that's stupid. Like come on, people. Go into a group of people that watches Death Battle and then suddenly spoil who won and all that. Wait until what happens next. If you were surrounded by a group of people who was excited to see whatever matchup it may be, and then some asshole decides to spoil who won because they saw it early, how much you want to bet that person who spoiled it will be picking his teeth from the fucking ground? You know? It's just not fucking logical. So yeah. And it's just like, come on, people, this isn't exactly fucking rocket science. It doesn't take a fucking genius to realize, oh, if I spoiled this, it's gonna cause a fucking chaos. Yeah, I don't like Gramble either. I don't know, he's too fucking, he has an ego like nothing else. But anyways. I was just checking to see if anyone commented on the videos I did, because I know some, because I remember someone saying it. I remember someone like fucking commenting on one of the videos, so just checking to see if anything new popped up. Yeah, no, alright, what else? What else should we do? You got any ideas on what to do? Any videos or stuff like that? Anything? Okay. What about you, Origin? If you're still in the chat, do you have any ideas? So who do you think would win? Might have a chance considering that might actually use his. Yes. We're still going to look at Z1 Puncher's community post. We're still gonna do that later on in the stream. Right now we're just having fun and taking a little break and stuff. Yeah, I was trying to find out who could I put her against. For as like a thing, I know she wasn't really in it much. Yeah, like Taskmaster. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, let's look up some more ideas. I guess. So, what you up to now? I don't know. We just having a. Also, I gave a full opinion in somewhere in my comments of. All right. Check that out. Checker, you should check the. It's actually the last one. You should check out the NP 100 Season 2 fights. What's that? The NP 100 set 2 fights. Yeah. Do links work in live chats? I don't know. I don't know. See if I can test it out. If the link gets deleted, then most likely it does not. If the link just suddenly gets deleted, and yeah, it doesn't really work. For that, let's for example, let's link Orton's channel in here. Let's see if this works. I tested out to see. Posted something but it didn't show on screen. I clicked it and did none. Let's try this. Try this one. Does this work? Let me see. Open new tab. If there's a result at this, then I'll explain. Come on, load, you son of a bitch. So it did work. It works. Like, unless it's supposed to work for the host, then maybe. But if it, because I don't know if it works for outsiders or something like that. I don't know for sure. Only for him though. I'll look up to see. I look up to see if there's a way. Let me see. Live stream. Live stream link. Links. Tutorial. Let's see how to let people link stuff on the live stream. How to link stuff in the live stream. Yeah, I'm not talking about back. See, there's a physical way. They should also consider the manga, since that's when Demolitions touch ruin their rematch. Yeah, that's true. Let's see if this works. If I just look up on Google just to see. Just to see. Yeah, I'm talking about. Nah, I don't think there's a physical way to do it unless it just works when it wants to. Do I get the option? I figure out. Okay, let me get that real quick. That one doing you right here. I don't know why I go down the subscriptions and see your fucking video right here. See the channel right there. Okay. Scroll down. Scroll down. What is just one strings? I think I went backwards, did I? Yeah, I went backwards. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Am I going too far now? Man, where is it? It's not here. I feel like I'm missing it. Like I know it's there, but it's not. Yeah, I went too far. Okay. There it is. It was right there. It was right there. It just went too fast. No, stop the fucking video. You scared that now. Where is it? Let's see this. See if someone said anything here. But a long time ago, before I done it, say I played way too much fucking oh god. It's nice, he's pretty good, underrated. I don't know. Well, I don't really suggest any idea. I don't think I've seen this one. Well, I don't really suggest ideas to Granville due to him being a little harsh. Not saying he's a bad guy, he's cool. Joey scores, but he will quickly diss someone's idea, whether it's a good or not. That is true. There's like he said, I doubt like he literally said something. I doubt he really saw the video or something like that. It was Majin Parasite. Majin Parasite. Where's that one? Majin Parasite. Majin Parasite. Majin Parasite. Majin Parasite. Majin Parasites. I don't see it. It was on Majin Parasite. Oh, Majin Parasite's comment. Oh, now I get you. I didn't see the comment part. Fuck. Damn it all. How did I not see that? I didn't see that. Madden Parasites. Madden Parasites. Oh, there it is. Oh no, I didn't miss that. Sometimes, but some of them are really dumb. Pac-Man vs. Danny Phantom, Reaper vs. Pyro, Juggernaut vs. Akuma. He also says Ghost Rider vs. Lobo is better than Ghost Rider vs. Spawn, which is pretty fucking stupid. He has a bad taste of ideas. He says no to good matchups. He has never done a fan request He's pretty rude. He says that it's, logically, since he's, let's see, that isn't he says that it's logically since he's criticizing, but I'm pretty sure it's half of the truth. And he also has an ego problem, which I have proof of since he deleted all the comments that were arguing against him in the Juggernaut versus Akuma trailer, which I don't blame them since it was a dumb idea anyways. Which shows he's allowed to criticize us, but not him. And also, as I said in the video, he's left the score such trailer maker since you rarely see him in other score videos. Like, he doesn't want to be friends with us. I mean, he's probably a cool dude in real life, but his logic makes me mad sometimes. So I include, yeah, that is true. Damn, that's with the red thing now. Found message retracted. What? Yeah, how was that message retracted? How many times does this fucking output have to go on low? Found some 3D models of Mob there from the mobile game, but looks good. Huh. Let me actually look that up. Actually, Mob. Mob 3D models. Yeah, I understand. This is like. Most of the time I'm seeing fucking Minecraft mobs, and I'm like, no, I'm not looking for Minecraft. So yeah. Okay, what else? What else to do? What else to do? Add anything else? Yeah, the stream's back on. And then the stream went low, motherfucker. Currently, nope. See what's with the first. coming across this. I remember this. I remember coming across this. I'll speak my mind about that just a second. Further, I want to see if anyone's commented on the Mob versus. Really? This still has only 2 comments? Wow. I thought it would have been more than that. Save that. That is on that. I remember that, like, people were making such high praise for this. That's right after the stuff that these people were saying. But I directly recall Ben saying Sasuke wouldn't show up, and definitely because he personally doesn't really like Sasuke. I guess he changed his mind. Or because it's a popular request of Sasuke, because they really use not many Naruto characters. So they use the main one, and then it's logical that they had to use the second main character, which was Sasuke. Or at least the main one of the high phrases. Though I'm not too fond of him myself. The eye hacks alone should win Sasuke all day, and look how that turned out. Yeah, Sasuke became busted by the end. I hear he is powerful, but I don't see if he can beat the mangaka. I also going to guess Mechagodzilla wins. Yeah. Man, I saw a fan-made death battle about this once. $50 on Sasuke. Also, never seen Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, I've seen a few clips, but never a full episode unless the abridged version counts. No, the abridged version does not count. It does not count. The abridged does not count. So, and you bet $50 Sasuke would win. You lost that $50. Sasuke, and then you got this Sasuke, more like Sasuke. Oh wait, who actually wins this? Never watched Yu Yu Hakusho. Like the issue with people like I think say I would say Melodios for Asta from Black Clover. It's like the issue. Let's see if this dude ever said. Like the issue with people in these types of debates, and it's something I've always been saying for like the longest time, but somehow this never gets across anyone's mind. If you have no knowledge of a character, or never seen a series that the character's in, and have no knowledge of the character, then don't get in. You know, if you have no knowledge of a character, either at least research the character to have more of a knowledge of the character, or don't be involved then. let the people who actually know about the characters to be in the debate, because it's not a debate if someone has no knowledge of one character but has knowledge of another character. It's not a debate because then you get people like this idiot. You get people like this guy, and it's like, would you please leave? you know, let the big boys do the big boy work. We don't need you coming in here thinking you know something. No offense. Okay. Ooh, what's this? What's this? The Mega Man Battle Royale. This is interesting. Hey, gaming guy, look, it's your twins. This is you. This is your brother. This is your other brother. This is your other brother. And this is your other brother. And every single one of each other murdered each other. Talk about rough love in the family. But yeah, I highly doubt he's seen that video, so. Anyways. Innocent Diola. The verse is. When I search Shadow versus, I always sometimes see Yang versus Shadow, which makes no sense. At least I'm the fourth strongest. Poor Walnut. Before we get to Blue Jay's question, poor Walnut. He was the weakling out of them all. He was the first one to die. And then Gaming Guy was the second one to die. And then both Mega Man X and Star Force died at the same time. Oh my lord. I mean, at least you got a leg up from Walnut. Walnut was the weakest one out of them all. But now, I remember someone saying in the comments on my Aftermath video of. I remember someone saying in the comments of my Aftermath video of Mega Man versus in the Mega Man Battle Royale. Someone says, "Poor Walnut. Not only his series was canceled, and then he was the first one to die, or something like that." And I'm like, it's so true. Walnut gets his series canceled, and he's the first one to die. Oh. Sad day for Walnut. That day was just not for him. Anyways, with Shadow versus Yang, like, in some ways it does make sense. But really, I don't think it's not the best idea of them all. Now, for who should face Yang if she was to ever return? Certainly not Bakugo. And certainly not Katsuki. I know many people want to see that. It really doesn't. Dude, get out of it. Like I've seen like some people want Katsuki Bakugo against Yang, And while that does makes like that there is a connection between Katsuki and Yang, I don't think it's like the best one out of them all. Like with Katsuki and not Bak, Katsuki and Yang. While there is a connection, I don't think it really should happen because like while there is a connection, it's not really like a strong connection. Like realistically, they're young warriors that have blonde hair or something color hair who has an anger issues and and it has something to do with fire with Katsuki blowing up things and with Katsuki blowing up things and Yang shooting bullets from her gauntlets and fire and yada yada yada. It's not really like a matchup I feel like should happen. I don't think Katsuki versus Yang should happen. I don't think so. Katsuki should really face someone else that's kind of like at his level. Like, realistically speaking, I think Katsuki should fight someone who is at least at his level or at least somewhere close to that. Because with My Hero Academia characters, ooh, they're a league above the Ruby universe by far. Like, My Hero Academia's characters are in a league of their own. That's not that Ruby can't even compete with. Like how are you gonna take it? Like that'll be like putting Ruby against All Might. You see how one side that is. That'd be like putting All Might against Ruby. Like, and especially when you count in with the manga and in the movies and stuff like that. Majority of of characters in Ruby destroy My Hero Academia. Not really. Don't believe it. Each single My Hero Academia character has like their own league. Izuku has yet to show his full potential in the series because he's still learning throughout the manga and in the movies, so we don't know his full potential just yet. Like Izuku's shown pretty impressive things, but like he's never shown his full potential, like how we see Naruto or Goku, not Goku, like how we see Naruto's full potential, Ichigo's full potential, and so on and so forth. With other characters in the series of My Hero Academia, like Shoto, Katsuki, All Might, and many others, we kind of seen like already their full potential then being faster and having an experienced fighter doesn't usually give you the win and everything. I mean, look at Link versus Cloud. Cloud had the vast array of arsenals, like superior arsenals, because of his magic spells. But that didn't help him win. I mean, look at Frank West and Leon. Like, look at Leon and Frank. Frank has the better weaponry. He has more weapons than Leon. And physically, you could say he's much more faster than Leon in some cases, if you want to say it like that. Also, I swear we're talking about the next time. Here we are. I'm just taking breaks, goddammit. Wanted to talk about something else. So, anyways, so Frank has the better weaponry. In some ways, I guess you can say better speed than Leon. But Leon had the more experience, the better skills, and overall was the better fighter, more intelligent than Frank, and so on and so forth. I explained all of that in my prediction of Leon versus Frank. That was a fight that Frank could never win. Doesn't matter how many weapons he makes, it's not gonna be enough for him. Anyways, now that we're on the subject matter, let me find Z1 Puncher's blog post. Not blog post, community post, that's what I meant to say. Let's see, where is he? There he is. Z1 Puncher. Alright. So it's as we said. With telekinesis, Tatsumaki has the superior telekinesis. When it comes to speed, let's see that who's physically the more faster one out of the two. Who do you all think is the more faster one out of them two? What's up, Jito? Cell versus Cars. No, save Cell for Merwin. I know Merwin dies against Cell, but it's the most highly requested one. Thanks to the 1 minute melee. I've heard Tatsu is faster. And like it depends on how you see it. 'Cause I remember in Mob Psycho when Mob was fighting someone, I can't remember his name, but when he was charging up, when Mob was charging up, he kind of like moved to grab the person that he was going up against. He moved so fast that the guy couldn't even react or even see him before he was behind him. Like, it really depends on how you see it and all that. So, with speed, it really depends. With, excuse me. If, as for, what else is there to be taken into account? Mob has reached lightning before. Like, so yeah. So yeah. What else? And I think it also comes down to durability. Who physically has the more? Who has the better durability? With Tatsumaki, I don't think she was in any in a fight where she was taking damage. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't think she was in a fight where a person was giving her a hard time and just slamming her around and stuff like that. Because I don't recall Tatsumaki in the first season of One Punch Man fighting someone that gave her a hard time. I don't remember that. Now, probably in One Punch Man season 2, probably. But with Mob in the first season, he's shown to be taking a lot of punishment and still get back up. Like when you look at Mob in the series, he gets beaten up a lot, but he never like stays down. He just keeps standing on his feet. I mean, the dude's been slammed into walls. He's been through like everything, and not once has he ever stayed down. And in his fight against a guy, I always forget the dude's name. When he grabbed him and then crashed through a building and exploded, he survived the being in the middle of that. So if we were to take into account of him destroying the whole building and the building probably collapsing on him, then yes, Mob should be physically had the better durability than Tatsumaki. Tatsumaki has the better telekinesis. Speed, it really depends on how you see it. And durability should be taken to Mob because he's shown to take a lot of punishment and not stay down. Yes, he does. Kito has Discord. Tricky, have you seen Mob versus Tancherio battle? No, I have not actually. Let me find it. Let me look that one up. So I've seen. I'm getting it right now. Hey, look, it's Jotaro. It's Jotaro. Jotaro. Okay. Versus. And what was the name again? That was T. Totally. Okay, so this is from One Punch Man season 2. Nah, I'm saying One Punch Man. Mob Psycho 100 season 2. Alright, let's see how this one is to see.
My name is Sarah
God damn
Connor.
it.
I hunt Terminators.
He's the most lethal Terminator ever created.
I hate when I get ads. I really do. I hate when I get ads. There's no point in them. Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking hate ads. I really do. No one cares. Get the fuck out. Okay.
分大きな力を使ったね。
まだだ。親父の気配は消えたんじゃね。変わったんだ。親父は言ってた。後天的に覚醒するきっかけは過度のストレスだ。
So you can lift something up. This was the feat that John Jutsu was telling me. He left the whole city block with the telekinesis. It's good beyond human understanding.
ヒゲは今日ばっかりは無理を通そうとすんなよ。僕を任した時の力はとっくに出てるはずなのに。勝てなければ逃げろ。お前が背負ってる責任なんか何もないんだぞ。モブ。
かつてない気分だ。起きろ。こんなに早く終わらせることは許さんぞ。起きろ。
ダメだ。悔しいけど僕じゃ力不足だ。
I'm not
何
strong
か別
enough.
の道をあんたに示すほどの力はない。
お前には私の破壊衝動に付き合う義務があるんだぞ。今さら殻にこもってどうする。
諦めた。あんたがいい人に変わる希望はもう捨てた。
どうやら我々は互いに影響を受けているようだ。
でもいい影響は与えられなかった。もういい。お互い負けでいい。
I'll quit 100.
死んじゃうかも。モブ。
死ねよ。
兄さん。やあ。よくやった。なんてことはない。失う怖さに比べれば。
Launch that all the way back up. Oh my god.
外に出てきたら爆発爆発する。あ、爆発する。逃げてみんな逃げて。モブ生きて
してたか。あの人は力を出しすぎて自滅しました。大出血じゃねえか。師匠、逃げてください。残ったのは膨大なエネルギー。多分爆発が起きます。それも大爆発が。僕らじゃ防げないってことだね。急ごう。
おうリス、走ろうぜ。ここじゃ巻き込まれちまう。
あれは社長の最後の光だ。世界征服を目指した社長の。
いいから走れ。死ぬぞ。あれ、おい、君はどこ行った。あ、
Saracana.
That's interesting. As her best has released building from so with that in mind, with the stuff that they show there, it's physically like you can scale Mob to that. Right? Like you can scale Mob to that. Because he's getting trash. He's getting hit in these I guess they're called Cineblocks. I don't know what they're called. He's getting thrown into these large poles or something like that. And when you look at the room that they're in, from the ground all the way to the ceiling is massive. So imagine how much force it takes Mob to when he gets hit or thrown into one of those. Imagine how much force he has to be hitting to destroy something like that. Even if you half it because the other guys is also doing that, you could also still have probably almost the same amount or something like that. Kind of like how they did it with Hiei with the feat that Yusuke did. And the fact that he was able to push back the huge key blast that the dude thrown should also give the impression that I think Tricky should send you my Discord tag. Yeah, I will after the stream. So yeah. Now let's look at what's the One Puncher writes. So in case you guys are unaware, Mob from Mob Psycho 100 has been finally announced for Death Battle. I've been seeing people's idea of his power at his peak being city level. Some people get this idea from the final chapter of the manga where his unknown state walks around Spice City and he shakes it as well as other nearby cities. I'm going to explain why Mob at his peak is much more than City Buster or so sit down type because this might take a while to read. Okay, you ready? Alright, let's read this. The feat of him shaking the city in his unknown state was not him even trying. The news reporter even says the natural disasters caused by Mob was only seven killer mongrels long. Mob 100% Mob is capable of spreading his energy up to 20 kilometers and can pick buildings beyond the horizon, which is 5 kilometers, and create an explosion with Tochiru that was calculated as being 3.47 kilometers wide, and he was just having fun. Mob in his unknown state flung Tiriki and the school building beyond the horizon, and was super casually. So does that mean 100% Mob is greater than unknown Mob now? Obviously not. It makes absolutely no sense if that is true. Let's see. There's more. People forget 1000% existed, and we see in the opening scene of the anime, unknown Mob is another 100% boost, and unknown is greater than 1000%. So doing the math on the reasonable scale of unknown should be able to spread his energy / attacks for 20 kilometers, which is putting unknown Mob at 182 planetons multi-continental level. Another way as a figuring Mob's full potential increase, you're not fine with the method is by finding out the gap between Mob when he's in his base form and 100%, which is a large building to a large town or small city, assuming Mob's explosions are nearly nuclear from a low-high end, and using this as reference to figure out the gap between 100% and unknown. You have Mob around 342 teratons out of 2.7 pelotons. Large country continental levels. Coincidentally, these are all the ranges of a certain global scale. natural disasters. Natural disasters are something that Unknown has been shown capable of doing. And even when using the explanation Mob and the explosion that Mob and Tanjiro made in the sky, 183 kilotons for fun. As a reference for 100% Mob's power would output to 6.2 teratons, small country level, at Mob's best, and this is lowballing it. It's not right to use. It's not right to use the city feet as a reference for 1% or Unknown, because that would mean the increase in power between base and 100% is much greater than 100% to Unknown. This definitely doesn't make sense, he says. You should have also watched the ending of that battle. Alright, I will. He goes on to say, I got the 20k kilometers result from when Mob stated he felt the physics from 20 kilometers away. Mob said he had to focus his entia and I don't know how you say that, and went from his base to 100% to sense them out, ergo his range increases as he gets stronger. So 100% is out of 1000% out of Unknown. Would make Mob reach 20 kilometers in range. Apparently the idea that Mob ranges increases as his power grows to some people is arguable, when it should be some common sense. The explosion released by Mob wasn't all of Tachiro's power. We see it said some of the power Mob couldn't absorb was slipped into the Borakal. I'm bringing this up in case people ask, well, why wasn't the explosion Mob absorbed not 20 kilometers wide? By the way, By the way, sorry, I was reading this wrong. The Margo explosion was caused with the fraction of Tajiro's power. Was calculated at 408.6 kilotons. Large town level fucking ambulance. Large town level showing 100% Mob's power being around large town / small level is legit. It's interesting. Some people might say, well, Mob wasn't outpowered by Tochiro. 100% Mob was outpowered, not Unknown. They have a rematch in the manga, and Tochiro was completely demolished by Unknown. Tochiro says to think the gap between us was this wide, and it seems I have yet to reach your level of strength. The final arc wasn't really a demonstration of Mob's full potential. Risu says, he didn't lay a finger on me. He really is Nissan. We see Mob have the intellectual struggle on trying to keep unknown in check the whole time, while saying stay away from that and stop. When it was actually close to killing someone, when we see unknown is clearly struggling to use his powers, Suzuki says, could it be he is resisting from inside? Yusu's brother is still fighting his own ramping power. The nail in the coffin for all this was when Unknown itself said trying to take full control of Mob's was trying to take control while trying to take full control of Mob's body. If you crumble into nothing like this, I won't have to hold back anymore. If Unknown was serious, everyone he encountered would have died with the fast physic neck or neck snap, or would have died from the wide pressure upon just being in the presence of Unknown. So Teruki wouldn't even have survived the punishment or had a chance to save all the people. The same applies to Ritsu, who wouldn't have survived one of the body improvement members, and wouldn't even have gotten a chance to blow away his banquet. Banuik. I don't know. Why do some people forget that the whole arc of Unknown was trying to walk to Tsubami? Even if Mob wasn't trying to keep Unknown checked, he wouldn't want to go all out, because why would it want to destroy the place his crush and family members live in? In summary, Mob's full potential is way greater than city level. I didn't count the Dream World feat from Morgami's arc or one statement this time around, because some people are not willing to take those. That is true. That is very, very true. Could you send it to us Discord or something? I will after the stream, like, because I don't remember what his, like, I don't remember what's the number of his account. I can't remember the number. So after this, I'll look to see what's the number, and I'll tell you it. I'll give it to you. All right. So yeah. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting read, if I do say so myself. What do you all think of what Z1 Puncher said? What are your thoughts on it? Do you think he was accurate, or do you think he was not accurate? Like, what are your thoughts on what he said with his calculations and all? God damn. Anything? Barely understood some of the stuff, but at least he gave more hope because now Mob is gonna win. Because what I like about Z1 Puncher is that what I like about Z1 Puncher is that he actually has an argument. He actually takes the time and calculate and scale and all this sort of stuff that I don't really see anyone else doing when it comes to stuff like this. You know, I've never seen someone do what he does. So that's why Z1 Puncher is probably the best one out of them all. Z1 Puncher is the best versus debater of all time because he has something that no other versus debater I've seen, and that's having an argument. With all the time he spent calculating, measuring, and doing the math and stuff like that, it's impressive. It really is. It really is impressive. You don't see that many people now like that. You don't see many people like like what Z1 Puncher does now. Only rarely. Only rarely you see people like Z1 Puncher, but not all the time. Overall, I think this was. He gave me hope that Mob would at least will most likely win. Again, I highly doubt he read. Like, I told him to like check this out and stuff. I highly doubt he even bothered to read it. I want to read. I want to see what the comments say at least. Let's see. He says yes, but I don't believe it. Yeah, he didn't. He doesn't read it. He doesn't read it. Because if he did, he would have said something there. Anyways, I wanted to read the comments. See some games. Yeah, this is not important. Well, Dave. So let's see what this he will not say that if he saw season 2. Alright, one person says, the Monster King says, I'm sorry, but this is heavenly wank. No one in Mob Psycho has ever shown any feats close to multi-continental or planet level. So using multipliers to place him at that level isn't consistent. If the calculation that put him at that, regardless, is invalid, inflated, or something. And if there is a reason, we don't use multipliers for tier characters. Why not? Goku's Super Saiyan Blue, for example. If we were to take it literally, Goku would be multiversal and could easily bitch slap Beerus, but since that's obviously ridiculous, we can't use that. Multipliers can be consistent with showing of feats or power in the verse, otherwise they're unreliable. You could scale Goku and Super Saiyan Blue with other people. You know that? Fucking multipliers are something that everyone does. Like if you multiply, like Super Saiyan 2 is a multiplier to Super Saiyan 1. Super Saiyan 3 is a multiplier to Super Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan Blue is a multiplier to Super Saiyan God. And Ultra Instinct is a multiplier of... Mastered Ultra Instinct is a multiplier to Ultra Instinct. Yeah, what's up, Red Elastic? I was just talking about, I was just reading the comments of Z1 Puncher's, community post he did on Mob, where he goes into an in-depth analysis on Mob. Z1 Puncher says... One, this is not wank. Two, you're clearly using the city feed that's referenced for Mob's power, therefore immediately making your argument invalid. I literally just said I didn't count the Morgan Dream World feed, and I'm multiplying because that's the only reasonable way of figuring out his true potential. Exactly. The gap between large building level and large town level is much bigger than large town, city, or mountain level. It makes no sense at all if you increase between base 100% or unknown. But that was yeah, this is just full of dumb shit. My computer is charging, so I got 50% minutes to chat. Alright. So yeah. It's a very interesting read of what Z1 Puncher said. It's a very interesting one. You gotta give the dude a round of applause. He did work. He has knowledge. He has intelligence than what most people have now these days. No offense. So yeah. That was an interesting one. I'm probably gonna make a score for Mob versus Tatsumaki since it's gonna become a relative battle. Just make sure you put in the description this ain't real. just say that this ain't the real song for the fight at all. So yeah. Obviously, yeah. Yo, Trickster, what are your thoughts on Codename Kids Next Door? Is that a new series of Kids Next Door, or is that a character named Codename? Also, when are you gonna make trailers again? So, for the first question, is Codename Kids Next Door a new show for the Kids Next Door, or is that a character named Codename in the show? Can you clarify on that, please? It's an early 2000s. No, it's a cartoon from Cartoon Network that came out in 2000. You said I never watched The Kids Next Door. They're literally the only person I know from The Kids Next Door is Father. He's literally the only one I know. Literally, his father is the only dude I know in the show. I never watched it. I never really came across it. Father is literally the only one I know. What else do you think I put him against Father from Full Metal Alchemist? Because that idea is funny and awesome. But like the Father would probably has to be my favorite one out of them all. The Father's my favorite character out of all the of the series of the kids next door. I don't know why, but every time when I see like those clips of him, I don't know why, but he always makes me laugh. Just how ridiculous he is. I don't know why, but every time. As for your second question, when are you going to make trailers again? You're in luck actually, 'cause now I got the Umi thing fixed. I got the Umi fixed. Because before I want to say like something months now. Yeah, like something months ago. Wait, when was the last time? When did it? When did it? I want to say like rough. I want to say roughly three months ago. I want to say roughly 3 months ago. There was a thing that Umi. There was a thing that you couldn't download anything. I sent you some. I was like, okay. So anyways, there was a thing on Umi that you couldn't download anything. Like the file name would not be there. Like let me show you an example of what I mean. Like let's take for example, so let's take now. Let me get a better looking one. Let me get this one, since it's right here. Let me look at like take for example this. Before, what will happen is that it'll show it being there, but you couldn't download it because when you it was like a glitch, I guess, where the video would be there, but you can't download it. The way to tell you can't download is that the length of the video will not show up. Of what quality you want to pick for the video would not show up, and most importantly, the download option would not show up. And it's been like that for like a long time. And you couldn't download songs either. So anything you couldn't download anything. Supposedly, I guess I don't know how true this is. The reason why you couldn't download anything is because I guess I did contact them and said, yo, what's happening? And many other people did. Umi said that supposedly YouTube had this thing now where they didn't want you to. Wow, that must have sucked. Hell yeah, it sucked. But like, so when I contacted them, and many other people did, they said that YouTube had this had this thing where they didn't want you to download videos off of the site. You know, like supposedly that YouTube had like a thing that didn't want you to download videos off of the site. Now I honestly don't know if that's 100% true or not, but you never know. This is YouTube we're talking about. You know that we are on YouTube after all. And YouTube does these dumb decisions. I think all of us here can agree that YouTube has backward ass decisions. You know? The YouTube admins are prads, yeah. So, for the longest time, I couldn't really do anything. I couldn't physically download anything. So, but you're probably thinking, if you couldn't download anything, then how were you making, um, the Blake versus CT and so many others? How were you was able to do that if you couldn't download anything? Well, because there was like an alternative thing that I found out called Velto. I think that's how you say it. There's a thing called Velto, something like this. Like, it was a thing called Velto, and what it would be is that you could put in a link and so on and so forth, and then download it. But the problem is that sometimes it would work and then sometimes it would not. So you can imagine the frustration of doing this every single time, and because Umi, it's so much easier. You just copy the link, select which quality you want, and bam, you're done. So imagine the frustration with using the Felto, and for it to have failed every single fucking time. The YouTube admins need to be crushed by the meteor Tatsumaki used to crush that one monster with. That monster was the Lizard King. That was his name. But that is true. Tatsumaki should bring a meteor and then crush the admins of YouTube with it. So you can imagine the frustration I had every single time doing this. And because of that, there was less and less trailers because of me having to do this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, you can tell, like, it got tiring after a while, so it's like, fuck. Now, I got Umi to be fixed again. I had Umi's now fixed. So now I can do stuff like this now. I can do stuff like this and all that. So wait, I got a notification. What is it? Yeah, screw that. So now, with Umi fixed and all that, I am happily to announce, until some car passes by, I am happily to announce the Death Battle trailers will be reborn again. You're going to see more trailers now instead of waiting for a whole month or 3 weeks or something like that. No longer are you going to have to wait for so long just for a new trailer. It's going to be like how it was before. You always see new trailers and not waiting for something weeks and months just to see a new one. Praise the Lord. Anyways, I gotta go. Peace. Alright. So tomorrow there will be a trailer. There will be a new trailer out tomorrow. And it's gonna be one you all will like. Because it's from a character one of the characters I announced in my 5 characters make their debut. So there will be a trailer out tomorrow. I guarantee you that. I hope you're all looking forward to it. So what do you all think? You excited? I'll take, I'll take, I like to think that you are excited. Alright. I like to believe you are excited for the trailers. Yeah. Anyways, I think that'll be the end of the stream. I think we've done a lot today. And all that sort of stuff. So, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream. There will be another live stream. I don't know when. But there will be another live stream. And also, like I said before, tomorrow there will be a new trailer coming out. 100% guaranteed. So, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream and all that fun stuff. And until then, I'll see you on Discord. See you on Discord, Game Guy. Until then, I'll see you all. I'll see you guys